Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm here at Goats with Horns Animal Sanctuary and Real-Time Rescue with Mr. Thomas. It's hard to see, but he does have a little wound on his side. Not sure. We didn't see any fighting. We didn't see what happened, but it looked fresh. So we did just apply some wound coat to it. And again, you also can't see because his wool is dark in that area, but it's bright purple. You might have seen in the past some of our animal friends like Zeus, the pig, or some Albert before, who've also gotten some little owies and have needed some of that purple wound coat. Thomas and Peanut are the only ones right now chilling with the misting system, but we had this installed on Monday. We have now 2 fans that are hooked up to a mister, and it drops the ambient temperature under this barn area so much. Most of the animals are kind of apprehensive about it still. They don't like water, other than the pigs and the ducks, but we're hoping that in time they will enjoy it. Rapunzel, if you follow us on social media, you might have seen that Rapunzel, our sassy goat, was kind of standing maybe right there, so just looking up at the mister, really seeming to enjoy it. And a little bit ago, Butters was as well, but I think they're still kind of getting used to the idea. We actually sometimes have to use water as a deterrent if one of the animals are ever being naughty. That's an interesting little fact about here at Goats with Horns. Of course, we are an animal sanctuary, and we're here for the animals to give them their best possible chance at life, and we never want to hurt them or cause them distress. So if they are doing something that is unsafe or naughty, we have these spray bottles around, reduce, reuse, recycle. These are not actually cleaning supplies anymore. They've been thoroughly washed and filled up with water. And we use those, use just a little spritz, and then they'll, stop doing what they're doing. For example, if I'm trying to carry a bowl of food and I'm trying to deliver it to one of our older special needs animals, and I'm having multiple sheep and goats surround me and try to, get at me, that's not safe. So I could grab a spray bottle and kind of give them a couple sprays, and then they're like, oh, okay, fine, I'll leave you alone. I don't like that. So we're hoping that the misting system, is obviously not like a targeted spray. So hopefully they'll get used to that. We see Gilbert over on the side kind of enjoying that a little bit, but it is definitely life-saving for us volunteers. We are in summertime here, and it's a brutal one, so we're really happy about that misting system and hope that the other animals will be too. We got Esperanza here peeking at me. We don't have a lot of updates this morning, which, as you know, no news is good news. Sometimes we go through periods where, we're unfortunately having to give update on, severe health issues or an animal that's, sick or injured or has even maybe passed away. So on days when they're really, or on weeks, because this is our weekly check-in, but we don't really have a lot going on, it's kind of a nice break. We got Princess Buttercup and Willow having a little tussle over here. So both of those girls should have horns. However, they were dehorned before they came here. We're named Goats with Horns kind of to speak out against animal agriculture who dehorns all of their animals. So even if they don't have horns and one of them does have horns, they'll still tussle and headbutt. And it can be brutal to watch, but it's just how goats kind of play, and also how they do fight like that sometimes too, and work out their pecking order and their hierarchy. Right now, these girls are just kind of tussling and playing. No malice. They're not, frantically trying to headbutt each other. There's no other goats kind of running over to see, oh no, what's happening? What's going on? They're all kind of just like, oh, okay, a little playtime. So yeah, that's a fun little update. We got to see a little wrestling right now. As I mentioned, there really is not a lot going on, so this is kind of an uneventful check-in. I just wanted to show you guys the misting system. We already talked about Thomas had his little injury this morning, And we did have Albert. I think we talked about it last week, but Albert is still having a little bit of a tummy ache. So we tried to get him on some probiotics. The first day we gave it to him, he was all about it. And the next day he didn't want it so much. So we're trying to sneak it in different foods. That's him right there. I tried to, yesterday I tried to put it into a banana half and he ate it just fine. But the other day when Michelle tried that, he would not eat it. This morning I put it into an orange, like one of those little mandarin oranges, those cutie oranges, and he gulped that down. So hopefully those probiotics can get in his system and kind of give him a little bit of relief. Mr. Frankie here loves the probiotics usually. He, if you remember, is one of our latest rescues, and as a baby he had coccidia, which pretty much destroyed his intestines, did a lot of damage. And so he has a different kind of bowel movement than the other goats do, and he also has to have his little bottom wiped sometimes because it kind of gets stuck in his fur. So we do give him the probiotics, and it doesn't, solve anything, but it can't hurt. It's, every little thing we can do to give them their best chance and their best life. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, if you guys follow us on social media, you might have seen the awesome popsicles that Karen made earlier in the week for everybody. I made some more, but I didn't hang them up today because I feel that the animals need to be supervised when they're eating the popsicles, and I wasn't sure how long myself and Elliot were going to be here this morning. So I'll take you over to the popsicles so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. There's a twine on them that we would use to, for example, maybe tie a popsicle right here, and then they can, lick and nibble at it. However, as I mentioned, once it gets low, once it starts to get smaller, the animals try to swallow the whole thing. And, it's probably not safe for them to be swallowing a huge chunk of ice or the string. So that's why I didn't want to do it without them being supervised. Put a few things in here. I'm going to carry my protection broom here with me because we do have Mr. Stan right there who's been chasing and being a little naughty this morning. Well, and all mornings, really. So let's see. I'll go show you guys the popsicles real quick. I take the broom with me just so that if he comes at me, I can just kind of give him a little push back. And I did not have to do that this morning yet, but I'm not taking any chances. So I'll just carry the broom with me. All the other chickens, with the exception of Pretzel, are already back in Cluckingham Palace in our air-conditioned coop. So they're finding their own ways to beat the heat. They're all fed a bunch of blueberries this morning. So in here, I'm going to show you, close this up. It's one of our deep freezer. So we just use some red cups here, and inside the freezer are some other ones that are reusable because some of these cracked already, and we wanted to try to reuse them as many times as we can. So we just poured a bunch of strawberries and blueberries in here, filled the rest up with water, and buried some of the twine in there. So once it thaws out a tiny bit and is able to slide right out of this cup, we can just, as I showed you, tie it onto the fence, and the animals were going crazy for it. Some really cute videos on Instagram, and I'm sure on Facebook soon. If they haven't been posted on there yet, they will be. But yeah, so it's kind of like an enrichment for them as well as a nice cool treat. And let's see if we can get a peek. Sometimes we see Pepper or one of the other chickens sitting right up here in the window of Cluckingham Palace. Let's see here. Oh, yep. Mr. Pepper right there. He's on a perch, just kind of keeping guard, looking out the window. Let's check the other window, and then I think I'll sign off here. As I mentioned, this is a very uneventful check-in, and it's very hot, so we can't be out here for too long. It looks like actually I can't really get all the way over to this window, but my camera might be able to. Let's see if we can see. I think that might be planned. It's hard for me to tell at this angle. Yeah, they seem to enjoy their time in Cluckingham Palace, especially when it's 110 degrees or higher, and it's 45 Celsius out here. It does top out a little hotter than we would like it to top out in there, but still considerably cooler than if they were outside. And so we are overall happy with it. And maybe in time we can try to think of some ways to make it even more cool. We've already had put some more like insulation around, things like that. So yeah, wish us luck. I wish everybody luck keeping cool. We've got Miss Pretzel over there, the wild chicken that won't ever go in anywhere. She's keeping cool her own way in the nice cool weeds over here. So I hope everybody has a good week, and thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.